Peace, family. My name is Vicky Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, family. Apparently, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is at it again. Family, according to the Business Insider Africa, this headline, of course, this is other sources too, but this is what I'm reading from now. It says Gates Foundation, new world first contraceptive for African women. What it means for Africa. Y'all listen to this. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is set to launch a new long-acting contraceptive in Africa, beginning with Kenya later this year as part of a U.S. $2.5 billion commitment to accelerate research and expand services for the health of African women. Here are the major points. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is launching a new affordable long-term contraceptive in Africa, starting with Kenya. The contraceptives, including a hormonal IUD effective for up to 8 years and a contraceptive patch, aim to address obstacles such as cost and accessibility. While receiving praise, concerns were raised about the ethical implications of externally funded family planning initiatives in Africa. The innovation by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation follows research showing poor health outcomes for African women, particularly those in underserved communities and limited R&D funding for women's conditions beyond cancer. Quote, y'all listen to this. Today's women's health issues are still too often misunderstood, misdiagnosed, or ignored. Although women generally live longer than men, they spend 25% more of their lives in poor health. Rufeng Joanne Ching, Director of Women's Health Innovations Gates Foundation, noted. The new contraceptive, an affordable hormonal intrauterine device, IUD, is designed to be effective for up to 8 years and will provide a discrete option for women in low-income housing. Family, let me tell y'all something. Of all the things that they can invest the money into, Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation, they love to fool now with land, GMOs, food supplies, and Black women's wombs. The wombs of Black women and food supply has everything to do with the sustaining of life. Why do you think this little computer man from America is switching his hips around the world doing this? Somebody say fear of a Black planet. It goes on talking about how the device is inserted into the uterus, the womb, where it releases progestin, a synthetic hormone that thickens cervical mucus to prevent sperm from reaching and fertilizing an egg. Y'all, this is crazy. Of all the things that they choose to help people with, not startup money for businesses, not getting out of our countries over there when we tell you to get out. Y'all fighting to stay. And based on information and belief, creating terrorist organizations so that you can continue to keep those areas destabilized. But we're supposed to believe that you're concerned about affordability with contraception. This is crazy. Rufeng described the revolutionary contraceptive patch, saying, imagine getting 6 months of contraceptive protection by pressing a small patch onto your skin. Discreet and self-administered. This does not even match. And may the Africans rise. I was seeing somewhere else that they supposed to start in Kenya, but they said they supposed to do other African countries. And I even read one report where it says they were going to go into India too. Family, they are so desperate to stop the rise of the global South, the so-called global South. The global majority is the better name for it. And groups and organizations, you know, like BRICS and so forth, they are doing everything that they can to prevent the rise of those numbers of individuals so that white Anglo-Saxon Yankees will continue to exist. They're desperate. If you know anything about the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she told us in her book that she wrote many years ago, it was reports that they basically made into a book. She made into a book, what was called the ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors. She breaks down for us the fear of white genetic annihilation and how they do all these different types of things to stay in power. And of course, we know that former President Joe Biden said a couple of months before he took the oath of office a few years ago, when he was screaming and hollering and cussing out a Black boule leadership, he said that America was doomed because of Black folks. Not only because of Black folks, but also because white folks in America are getting ready to be the minority in 2040. This is what they're afraid of all over the world. And so it doesn't matter if you're dealing with a liberal, It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a conservative or Republican. And I'm using those names intentionally because some of them have different meaning, even though they kind of in the same group. But I don't care what names they come up with. That's one thing they both agree on. They nervous about that. I can't wait to see what you have to say about it below. Just warning for the family. My name is Vicky Dillard, beloved. Be sure to check out my website at VickyPlanet.com for more information about what I do and what I have going on. A lot of yummy products like my Luxury Goddess magazine that's coming out, as well as my special schools. You don't want to miss information about that and how you can tap in so that you're able to get breakthroughs in your own life. Go to Vicky Planet.